adjust my seat. Look, that's scientifically proved that you was adjusting my seat.
That's not science.
It is, and just let it go.
Well, Norbert is not alone. Many Americans are simply getting too fat for their own cars. Vehicles now actually have weight limits that tell folks if they're too big to safely drive it. Is it time to lift those limits to accommodate bigger motorists? Some of the governments say it is. My next guest says, stop it. No way. Jeanette Jenkins is founder of Hollywood Training Center and author of the Hollywood Trainer Weight Loss Plan. Jeanette, good to have you back.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
I'm okay. What do you make of this? Make the cars bigger.
I think it's ridiculous. The car companies, if they go ahead and increase the weight limit, all they're doing is hurting obese people. It's out of control. The whole connotation of bigger is better and accommodating obesity, all they're going to be doing is a disservice to obese people, and people need a wake-up call. If you don't fit into your car, newsflash, you need to lose weight.
Yeah, I could see like a Corvette, Jeanette, but if it's like a big old Thunderbird and you're still too big for that, then you got issues, but I digress. So you're saying that the car companies having to acknowledge the problem, we're a fat nation, and having to build bigger cars to accommodate that fat nation are making a mistake. They shouldn't go that route.
Yeah, they're making a huge mistake, and they're just increasing the opportunity for people to continue to be obese. I mean, if someone who needs to drive their car to a 9-to-5 job is having difficulty in fitting inside it or fitting their entire family in to go on a family trip, then you know what? That family will have a wake-up call that we need to lose some weight because we can no longer fit into our car. But if you take that standard away and that opportunity for them to be able to feel that way, then you're just, what's next? We're going to put, drive-through tables on the armrests? Like, it's just out of control.
Well, actually, that would be a good idea for me, but I don't. Well, that's another show, Jeanette.
That's another show.
But let me ask you, Dan, in all seriousness, I mean, it is a real danger if people unwittingly get into a car. Let's say they're a very big family, like the Norbert gang, right? They all get into a car, and they're vastly over the weight limit for that car, and they don't know it. Aren't the car companies doing a disservice to them by not accommodating for that extra weight?
No, because they shouldn't be in those automobiles to begin with. I mean, if you are a large person, you're not going to go buy a Pinto or a very small, like, Mazda sports car. You're going to buy a larger car to begin with just to be comfortable. So, I mean, if you have to go beyond the limit of an already, large size, like, SUV or family wagon, you can't fit your family in comfortably into a car, like, to that size. Because these are the sizes of cars we're talking about that they're considering to increase the weight limit of, like, a caravan. I mean, you do not need to increase the weight limit of a caravan. That's just getting out of control. And
all right, but by the same token, I think if you remind people of the money involved, if you were to tell an obese family, look, your gas mileage has just been cut in half because you're all so big squeezed in that car, that might be a healthier way of getting the message across than doing what the government is suggesting, wouldn't it?
Well, definitely gas mileage, right? Money talks. So I think that definitely that would help. But I still think that people need to set their own parameters, and not have to rely always on the government or other companies to have to give them even those wake-up calls. So, I mean, by the government and these companies, the car companies, accommodating obese people, it is not helping the situation at all.
Yeah, you're saying don't cradle them,
don't cradle them, exactly. It's like that mother that keeps giving their kids, like, M&Ms and junk food because it makes them happy. And then by the time they turn 12, they're fat and obese. And then they look back like, oh, but that was the same thing. You got to give them some tough love. Like, these are the standards. We're sticking to it. I mean, already when you compare America to Europe, it's out of control. Have you ever seen some Americans on vacation in Europe?
Yeah,
they can't fit into the elevators. They can't fit into the taxis. It's out of control.
I don't know how you knew, Jeanette, that my mother was feeding me M&Ms, but you did. But, Jeanette, always good seeing you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Jeanette Jenkins, Hollywood Trainer. All right, time for Fox Stocks. The clock ticking on General Motors and the UAW. Their labor contract expiring at midnight tonight. Workers could strike if a settlement is not reached, and soon Ford and Chrysler have extended their contracts with the union. Chrysler, with other things to worry about, though, it's recalling nearly 300,000 SUVs and Jeeps due to problems with the brakes. The automaker also recalling 72,000 brand new Sebring